gentlemen, the show is about to start. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. I am your trusted source for hard-hitting conservative news. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. And tonight we embark on a journey through the corridors of history, guided by the unwavering light of conservative principles. As we gather around the computer tonight, let us remember that ideas have shaped civilization, toppled empires, and ignited revolutions. Our conservative heritage is a tapestry woven with threads of liberty, responsibility, and resilience. So let's dive in and explore the timeless wisdom that fuels our convictions. Our first stop, the pillars of conservatism. Imagine a grand hall adorned with statues, each representing an essential value. Here, we find limited government, individual freedom, and the sanctity of tradition. These pillars stand tall, weathering the storm of change, reminding us that our roots run deep. Second, we have lessons from the past. History whispers its secrets to those who listen. Tonight, let's heed its counsel. Remember, the courage of the founding fathers, their ink-stained quills etching liberty into parchment. Recall the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher, who declared the problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. Her words echo across time, urging us to safeguard our economic freedom. Third is the art of civil discourse. In the age of digital noise, let us reclaim the lost art of civil discourse. We don't shout, we reason. Excuse me. We don't cancel. We engage. Our conservative ideas thrive. Wow. Nurtured by respectful dialogue. So, my fellow thinkers, let's sharpen our arguments, not swords. Fourth is the call to action. As the stars twinkle above, we face a choice to be persuasive observers or active participants. Our conservative convictions demand action, whether it's volunteering, voting, or standing up for our values. Let's be the architects of change, not mere spectators. And there you have it, dear listeners, the opening chords of the Conservative Viewpoint Weeknight Podcast. So join me tonight as we dive deeper into the annals of conservatism, seeking wisdom, inspiration, and the courage to shape a brighter future. And remember, ideas are our compass, and together we navigate the currents of history. And with that, the show begins now. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. We're going to first start off this morning or this evening. I can't even get the morning and evenings right. But first, I'm going to get a drink. And we're going to sit there and we're waiting for Joe Biden to hit the TV screen. We're going to see what kind of excuse he comes up with of why he dropped out. Not that it matters really now, but if he cannot be a candidate for president of this country, he cannot be the installed president, and he's been doing now for almost 4 years. Now, if I can think right, there was supposed to be a leak about this that the upper Democrats were threatening him with the 25th Amendment if he did not drop out of the race. Well, there's blackmail for you. And we already thought the Republicans would do it, but that's what we've heard so far right before I got on here about a half hour or so ago is what I read. So I don't know if you guys heard it or not. Let me know if you guys have heard this or not, but we're going to wait. Supposedly, the last time we waited for him to come on, it wasn't at all the time that he said he was going to be. So we're going to see what happens here, and I've got everything set up for that. So I can't touch anything just so we know it's actually going to work. So it looks like we've got about 5 minutes. So I went through everything really quick on my opening monologue. But I've got a heck of a show for tonight. I've got, let's see what we got here. I've got, that's the ad. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got about 13 or 14 videos to show you guys tonight. We will go into this right after Joe Biden's done. Now they're saying it's going to take maybe 10 minutes for him to say this, whatever it is he's going to say. So we'll find out what it is. So if you're in chat, let me know. Just say hi on whatever media that you're looking into. I'm going to open up Facebook here. And I do get some of them on the screen here, but not all of them. And StreamYard's got to take care of that. They got to put them all, everybody that you stream to, you should be able to see them and comment to them right on StreamYard. I shouldn't have to switch around to all these different sites to try to comment and keep up with people's comments. It's too hard to look at 4 different screens to try to keep up with people. So if you're in here and you can get the comments or something, let me know where you guys are from, what states you're tuning in from. Waiting for my people from Wimpkin to come in. They're probably on different shows right now going on. I know we've got a few of them going on right now, and some of them are going to be streaming Joe Biden. Some of them were streaming Donald Trump, but I think this is a replay. And I think he's done already. But I'm not sure. We'll try it again and we'll see. Let's see. We'll go live. I thought he was done, but I'm not real sure. I thought that's what I saw earlier, unless he was just coming up, but I thought he was supposed to start at 6. So I'm not sure. So we'll find out here in a second when YouTube decides to get their seconds off. Excuse me a second. All right, we'll see here. Yeah, Fox is on a commercial break, so we'll see when they come back on. But I've got the AP on over here that we're going to be watching tonight with Joe Biden. And like I said, as soon as he's done, we're going to go straight into the show, no matter what time it is. If it's 10 minutes up, we're going to get into it. I've got a heck of a lot to show you guys. I got the Trump ad on Kamala Harris. I've got her word salads where she can't even stream out a sentence. And this girl on Facebook today sitting there saying she's voting for Kamala because she's a woman and she's black. And she's, oh, get this one. She's highly educated. What? She failed her bar exam the first time. So, okay, how highly educated could she? She can't speak a complete sentence. Not that she's demented like Joe Biden. Don't get me wrong. She just doesn't know what to say. And I get that way sometimes too, but just as bad. She's a public figure. I'm not. I'm a nobody. And it proves by the amount of people that I have in here. But my point is just to get the truth out because of people like this. And I tried to tell her, and she obviously blocked me, and Facebook took my comments off. You couldn't make a comment anymore somehow. I don't know why they would have done that. I wasn't cussing. I wasn't calling her name. I called her a liberal because that's what she is. And they took off my, or Facebook. Yeah, Facebook must have done it. Hi, Susan from Kentucky. Nice to see you, Susan. But they took all my, you couldn't comment on that post, but you could comment on the other post that I had. So it was just for this show. And she's trying to tell me that Kamala Harris is a highly educated black woman, and that's why she's voted for her. Not that she has the experience, and she's not highly educated. I know kids, my son's friends, just graduated and took the bar passed it the first time, and he's not that smart. So I don't know what kind of attorney he is, but she got ahead in all this a different way. So we'll get into more of that later too. And I'm sure my Wimpkin Warriors will come out here and they'll have a lot to say later on. A couple of my guys, one of the guys is going to be at a church right now. He's messaged me and said he's going to be late. But the other ones are in there watching other shows that are going right now, like the American Rebellion. I think he's on right now. And he was probably doing Trump's, or he could be doing Joe Biden's thing too. Billy Bob's in the house. He's a Wimpkin, another one of the fellow Wimpkin Warriors that we got out there. Great people in there, guys. If you have never heard of Wimpkin, go download the app at WIMKIN.com. Download it. It's like a Facebook, but you don't get censored there. Jerry's in the house too. Thank you, Jerry, for tuning in today. And we're still waiting for Joe Biden to come aboard and see what and how he's going to act. This is going to be his first television appearance. Well, it's coming on with a presidential seal. I'm going to put you down here. I'm going to put me down so you guys can see this, and you should be able to hear. And I think the volume. Oh, I'm going to put the volume up, and when it comes on, I'm going to mute my mic so we don't get any reverb. And I think we fixed all this a couple shows ago. The guys in Wimpkin helped me out. There we go. Listen up, guys.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. But we came together as Americans, and we got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first Black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
That was short and make believe. Oh, shut up. I gotta take this off. It's ringing in my ear. I gotta take this one off too. I can't hear myself speak. That was something else. I'm telling you. I have to agree with you, Billy Bob. That was not. Doesn't seem like him. He went an actual 12 minutes, and all the lies that I could write down very fast was amazing. Let's start off. His excuse is now he decided to hand it down to a new generation. Now, we know that's not true. He just didn't decide that because just a couple of days ago, before he supposedly got COVID, he's in for the long haul. He's going to beat Donald Trump. And then all of a sudden, I just decided to we'll let it go and give it to a younger crowd. Well, look what the hell you're giving it to. Not that much damn younger. Then what else did he say? Well, he wants the Supreme Court. He wants to do it, or he wants to fix it. There ain't nothing wrong with the Supreme Court. It's just not going their way. So they want to fix the Supreme Court. That's what they want to do because it doesn't go their way when they want it, because they follow the law. What else we got here? Oh, the U.S. is not in any war anywhere. So where are our soldiers? Why are they over in Ukraine training Ukrainians? Or they're going to say, no, they're in Romania or something like that. They're right on the border of Ukraine. They're not actually in the war. And why are our weaponry killing people? Why are we shipping all this money over there? Why is our money in Ukraine that we could have been using here? So I don't fall for any of that yet. So there's still more excuses that they're using here. Let me find where the hell my cursor go here. What else we got here? What else did he say? Oh, he wants to make peace in the Middle East. Trump had peace in the Middle East. They're always going to have their little skirmishes. You're not going to stop that. But there was overall wars were not being fought in the Middle East under Trump. What else did he say here? I can't even read my own writing. Oh, we've came so far as a country since he's been in office. How far? We went downhill. We're a dumpster fire right now. And that goes in the master. We were in an economic disaster when he took over. No, I believe inflation was only like 1.9, and now we're like 5 something, I think it is now, or something like that. They went up to 9 or something like that. So more lies. This is what we get from this man. Constantly lying. Let me take this off here real quick. Yeah, so I don't get no echoes or something like that. What else we got here? Oh, he said he created 16 million new jobs. He's got the best economy ever. Okay, that about made me fall off my chair. He did not create any jobs. I want to know where these companies opened, brand new companies that opened in this country that created 16 million jobs. Can anyone tell me that in chat? Let me know what you guys think. Where are they at? Not here. Look outside. There's nothing here. He said manufacturings have all come back to the United States. Where have they opened? Where are these computer chip manufacturers? Email. That he said that we're leading the world in computer chips. Where are these factories at? Everything he said is bad. Is everything they made bad? Trump 2044. Exactly right, Jamal. Because then he gets into healthcare. More people have healthcare now than ever. More illegal criminals have healthcare. Not Americans. Illegal, because they gave them all free healthcare, free money, free food, free places to stay. Not Americans. Oh, okay. Then the big one. Illegal crossings at the southern border are lower than it was when Trump was in office. Now that's a load of shit. We know that's not true at all. What else we got here? The week came so far, the manufacturers, healthcare. Boy, we got all that. Oh, he says crime rate is down. Hell no. Crime rate is at its highest. People, because they've told all the local Leos and everything, don't report them so they can have plausible deniability. So when you don't report crimes like they're supposed to, well, of course it's going to look like crime rate's down. But you watch the news, no. But everything that this man said is another lie. Got to expect this coming from his mouth. Billy, well, my health care sucks. You know, I can believe it too, because I am on state insurance, and it even sucks now. They're taking the food out of Americans' mouths and giving it to illegals. Exactly right, Jamal. But everything that he said was a lie, and the piss-poor excuse for him dropping out of the race was he wants to give it to a younger generation. If you wanted to give it to a young generation, you would have gave it to that dried-up prune, Camel Toe Harris. I just think that it was a piss-poor excuse, and the man is worthless. Hey, John, Yeah, it only lasted 12 minutes, John. Oh yeah, and they put that makeup all over him, and his hair was nice and flat. And if I had hair, mine could be flat too, but it definitely did not look like him. And with that grovelly voice, it's probably the stunt double. And they made it look, oh yeah, that's why they did the COVID deal beforehand, so he could come out and say he's still recovering from COVID, so he doesn't speak real well. So this is just a load of crap, and you can see it. And I was being optimistic that they would come out and tell the truth, and yet they did not do that. He come out and used the excuse for a younger generation. Well, you're not getting a younger generation. You get somebody maybe in their 50s, late 40s, okay, 60s maybe, okay. No, not this. That's hence the name of the show for tonight. You know, this is the best the Democrats can come up with. Oh my God, we are in trouble if we don't win this election. You can see it, and this man's going to sit there and he's going to try to force stuff through, and it can't get through if the House doesn't allow it. That's if those rhinos in the House don't side with the Democrats. That Joe Biden can't get anything done unless he does an executive order, and that's a lot of stuff that he can only do so much stuff under executive order. So I am not sure about that. So let me see here. I had some other stuff that I was going to say for the show. The end of an era for MAGA. Christopher A. testifies on day 3. I don't know what that means. That's a new emails, but we're going to give us. Yeah, we decided to. We showed Joe Biden's speech there, Tammy, and it was a disaster. It was lies. He's handing off the reins to a younger generation. I want to know who they got in mind, because it sure to hell isn't Kamala Harris. You're talking about a younger generation, but I'm glad you stopped by a little early. What time is it? Yep, I'm a little bit early. I started at like 10 to 8, tried to get things going, but I'm sure that you guys were over on American Rebellion. His show is pretty good, so he wasn't sure when I messaged him earlier if he was going to do it or not, and then I just messaged a couple people and asked them if we should do it, and he said, sure, what the heck. And so we started, and kind of disappointing, of course, 12 minutes of Joe Biden, but it was not worth it. 12 minutes of him is enough. But I said earlier, you weren't on here, Tammy, and that I heard he was threatened with the 25th Amendment. And I don't know if I could find that or not. I don't know. I can't remember who put it on. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Oop, back up, Jack. We all suspected it, and here's how it went down. Here it is. Joe Biden faces calls for removal under the 25th. Is it likely he will be forced from office? That came when? That was 2 days ago. The one I found was today. Whoops. It came just a little bit ago before I got on air. And I can't believe it was Fox, I think it was, that said this, that they got a leak that they were threatening him with the 25th if he didn't drop from the race. It's not Joe. How many freaking doubles do they have? Yeah, I don't know how many they have. Oh, I know, Tammy. I can't listen to him either, but I wanted to hear the excuse he used for dropping out of the race, and we got it. We got the excuse was that he's handing him off to a younger generation. How the hell old is she anyway? Let's see. Can't type. Shit. She's 59. Wow. She looks bad for her age. I'm 56, boy. I hope I don't look like that. Holy shit. That's bad. I read the old hag. Pelosi threatened him. I'm sure you're right, Tammy. I guarantee, because they did say the upper Democrats threatened him. And I didn't save it. And I should have saved it when I found it. And I believe it was Fox. And it was today, so I know it was. But they were saying it was a leak. Of course it was a leak. But now, of course, I can't find it now. But yeah, they said it was a leak, and who knows if that's true or not. But they came up with a good excuse. I'm older than her, and I don't think I look as haggard. And she looks pretty rough. But that's where we're going to get into a little bit of her tonight. A lot of bit of her, I think. I think pretty much the majority of tonight's show is about her. And I threw in a couple of things at the end. If we get to them, we get to them. If not, okay. But I ran off of everything he was lying about. But you know what? We heard the excuse. Now let's move on with that. We're going to get started with the show, anyways. Let me get my little gizmo here, and where am I going to start here? We had a great day last night. Show was rushing. Oh, yeah. I wanted to apologize for rushing through last night. I saw a lot of you guys were getting off to go to work and probably to bed. You guys were tired. I see you guys on here. A lot of the majority of the night, on other different people's shows and stuff. And I don't want to keep you as long as I don't have to, but I wanted to get all those videos in. We got them in. I was happy with that, but we did great. You guys were awesome helping me get this show going. I'm surprised Jill isn't staying silent. Yeah, no kidding. She always runs her mouth. I don't want to get into her. Well, sorry, Billy Bob. That is what it's all about today. It's all about Kamala. We are going to destroy this woman. She's doing it on her own. But we got to show people about her because she is dumb as a box of rocks. And if anybody finds something that's dumber than a box of rocks, let me know, because I want another excuse here. I need something dumber because I don't know anything dumber except me. And I'm not that damn dumb. But I got a lot of the stuff that people need to wake up and see, because everything was set on Biden. Biden made it so easy because she makes it so easy too. And you guys know that they already, and I think I have it in here somewhere, that they instituted already the 20 impeachment inquiry into her. So we're going to see what happens with that. Well, that's what I said. She's like a Heinz 57 or something. She's got like multiple ones, and I think she just picks whatever race she is to meet her agenda for that time. I mean, when you got a Jamaican dad and I forget what her mother was. Was she American? No, she's Indian. I think she's Native American. Yeah, Warlock. Right. Thank you, Warlock. Welcome to the show. She's half Jamaican, half Indian. So she decides whatever works for her that day. She's like Pocahontas. What is her name? That white woman that thinks she's 102,000 times an Indian or something, whatever she was. I can't remember her name right now either. So, but yeah, she just chooses what race she is. And I was called a racist because I said that she was a Heinz 57 because she was mixed up with different kind of races. So be it. You have it. It is what it is. But where was I at now? Yeah, I got through that, and we need some answers. We did not get the answers we were expecting from yesterday's hearing with the Secret Service, the ex-Secret Service director from India or Native American. Yeah, I don't know which one it is. I thought it was Native American. I can't remember what they said it was, but yeah. Who's Pocahontas? Who's that white woman? Elizabeth Warren. Thank you, Jamal. That woman. She's like no 1 in 20,000 or 2,000 something. She's not even an Indian. Her big toe maybe has some Indian in her, and she wants to try to use that Native American talk bullshit. You know, these are what you get when you come with Democrats. So it's just crazy. But now we're going to start off the show tonight with the Democrats are in total chaos. I think her mother was from India. Okay. All right. So, yeah, she chooses which color she wants to be. But they use the excuse that the blacks were brought over to the island back in the slave days. And so they are considered black Jamaicans or whatever people up there call. They're in Jamaica. They are considered themselves Jamaica. They're Jamaican. They don't consider themselves black. I've talked to a lot of them there. I've been there twice now. I'm going for a third time, hopefully soon. But they're not like here. Elizabeth, the angry baby killer. Yes, Billy Bob, you got that right. She pushes for that stuff all the time. So, but the Democrats are in chaos, you know, and they face a tight deadline to replace Biden. Now, all this does not guarantee Kamala Harris gets this. Yes, she does have the support of the delegates, but it doesn't mean she automatically gets the nomination. That's why Obama is still asking for an open convention, because I think Big Mike's still in the running here, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. They're not going to let this go straight to a virtual nomination. So, and this is what a lot of this is about, and about the money and stuff that Biden has. They can't go to her right now, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But that's what the name of the title of the show is. You know, Kamala cannot be the best the Democrats can come up with. I think the only reason they're doing this is because of the money. And just in a few weeks, we got the national convention starting up. So there's going to be a lot going on between now and then. And I think one of them is because of that. But because in this next article, despite Biden-Harris endorsement, Democrats still face an unclear path toward a nominee. Now, I want you guys to take a... Yeah, that's why he wants Big Mike. I think that's why Obama wants to do this. Don't be surprised if they switch her out. I'm not going to be surprised, Warlock. I hope they do. And I really don't care who they put in. I think Trump can handle them. They asked Trump the other day if he would debate her. Oh, he said, oh, most definitely. He would not have a trouble with it. He said he would debate her a couple of times. The super delegates will throw her out just like they got rid of Bernie for Hillary. Now that you brought that up, Jamal, before I show you this video, the super delegates are the only delegates that they are legally allowed to just give to somebody. Now, Joe Biden and these people, and some of the people are mad because they voted for Joe Biden. And this is why they're mad, and they have every right to be mad. Now, you know, I'm not a Democrat anymore, and I'm not too fond of most Democrats, but, and I can't say that too much because my family is Democrat. My married family is Democrats, and I love them all to death. But that's the only delegates they can give away. Now, how they're going to get away with this, just giving delegates away, I don't know how it's going to happen. Joe's going to gift them to her, I guess. I have not a clue how this works. I've never seen it in my lifetime. So that's where we're at right now. So Obama didn't even want to endorse Joe. They don't like each other, Warlock. Obama's hate Biden's. And that came straight up from Dan Bongino himself when he was protecting Obama. And he said they hate each other. So this shit that you see on TV is all a gimmick. It's all acting. They're like Ronald Reagan, but Ronald Reagan was a great man. These people are not. So Right. They hate each other. So it's just for show, just to try to keep power. And the racist Obama wants to keep his power. He wants another 4 years. You know, he got 3 terms. Now he wants a 4th term. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I'm going to show you this video about the path of the Democrats nominee. So that was my first one. So let me try to find it here. And I'm hoping that's it. And I'm not sure if that one's explaining. I have so many videos on here, it's unreal. So we're going to try this one. It says the first one, and that's what I'm going with. So here we go.
Vice President Kamala Harris hasn't made a public appearance since Joe Biden quit and said that she'd be the Democrat nomination in the November election against Donald Trump. Vice President Kamala Harris hasn't made a public appearance since Joe Biden quit. Vice President Kamala Harris hasn't made a public appearance since Joe Biden quit and said that she'd be the Democrat nomination in the November election against Donald Trump. But she's already made it clear that she will run, and it's going to get very personal. She tweeted, "I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme Project 2025 agenda." That's just fear-mongering, of course. The 2025 agenda is actually a paper by some conservative think tank, and Trump says it's too extreme and, you know, hasn't bothered reading most of it, so doesn't endorse it. So stand by for a lot more mud and misinformation. Joining me is John Heindereker, is the president of the Center for American Progress and writer with the fantastic Powerline blog. John Heindereker, great to see you again. Look, Kamala Harris is, almost dead certain to be the Democrats' candidate at the election. Can the Democrats now win with her like they couldn't with Biden?
Well, I think they can, Andrew. But before we jump to that conclusion, let me just point out that Joe Biden withdrew from the race, almost immediately endorsed Kamala Harris. Bill and Hillary Clinton jumped in, endorsed Harris. But the New York Times rushed out an editorial saying, you know, not so fast. We want an open process where the leaders can choose the best candidate at the convention. And Barack Obama put out a tweet which echoed that theme. Let's have an open process. And he never mentioned Kamala Harris. So I don't know, Andrew. We may very well be in for some excitement here in the Democratic Party over the next couple of weeks.
Give me 1 second, guys, here. Brendan says he's on his way home and he wants to come on, so I have to send him a link. Okay, now it's sent. So he said as soon as he gets home, he'll come on. So we'll get to him and say, but you see what I'm talking about. And yeah, Billy Bob, I switched out. I stayed Democrat. I got hurt into prison, and I was a Democrat then. And I had some stuff going on with that. And I stayed that way. And believe it or not, I voted for Obama his first term. That's all, folks. That's all it took for me. But I stayed Democrat. I voted for Trump on his first term as a Democrat. I wrote him in, of course. And then I switched over after that. So, yes, I was stupid, but I was only on paper as a Democrat. That's for sure, because I believe in my guns and everything. And shoot, I've been a Republican, just didn't realize it. So, all right. But it's like they said, it's not guaranteed that she's getting it, and they're acting like it. So she thinks she's guaranteed it, but that's not going to help. Because this article tells you that Harris has enough supports as the Democratic delegates, the delegate supports. They don't have the delegates yet. But that still doesn't mean she can get the nomination, because this can stay open. And I think this next one is going to explain it to you. And then let me find out where the hell I'm at. That's when I'm getting rid of that one so I don't play it again. Okay, yeah, the next one that I've got here, and as soon as that one goes off, shows about the support she supposedly has as far as the as far as the support of the people, the states that have the delegates, you know, like California, all those idiotic states What's wrong with your keyboard, Warlock? Okay, let's play this video real quick for you guys, and it's right here.
And tonight, News 4 Tucson's political specialist Eric Fink confirming that the Arizona Democratic Party is circulating a letter telling all 87 Arizona national delegates to support Kamala Harris as the party's presidential nominee. The Arizona Democratic Party is hoping to have all of the delegates sign the letter by tomorrow. The circulating letter is similar to the letter on your screen you see right there, which has already been signed by the state's party executive board and nearly all county chairs.
Another Democrat-run state like Arizona, with that twit that's in as governor illegally. We all know that, and it's been going through the courts like crazy there too. Gary Lake should be the rightful governor there. And it just keeps going. Every Democrat-run city and letting these illegals and stuff through, and it just never fails. Now, I don't know what they're going to do based off of this, but if they're going to give her the nomination, I guarantee you one thing. It's about the money, the nearly $100 million that Biden is holding onto right now, because right now, legally, Harris is not allowed to have the money. And Biden right now, by the campaign finance laws, he could only release $2,000 to Harris. And I guarantee she's spending a hell of a lot more than that right now. So, they're the lawless party anyway. So now if she does what in her past is coming back to haunt her. So, and it's easier for me to just let you watch the video and let them tell you, because her past is really just shows her how she worked her way up through the ranks. Let me find that one first here real quick. There it is. So take a look at this one. It's a short 43-second one.
So Biden himself ran some bad presidential campaigns in the past. He's had to drop out before because he couldn't overcome such bad things, and he became the president. So can we see a turnaround from Kamala this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's impossible, although, she's got it going against her, the fact that she's inheriting everything bad about the Biden campaign, except for his age, right? I mean, she's closely tied to every policy that people already didn't like about Biden. And then she also brings a lot of her own baggage to this campaign, both from her time as a district attorney and attorney general in California, and from her more recent, exploits on the national scale.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. This is so messed up, it's unreal. But Tammy says, so when do the rules stop the Democrats? You're right. It doesn't stop them. And I guarantee that they're using all the money that they've got right now already. So she's had a real shady past. She came up with through the ranks so fast because she received her first political role thanks to Willie Brown, her then boyfriend, who was not only a Democrat Speaker of the California State Assembly at the time and 30 years older than she was. And it happened to be rumored that when they started their relationship, he was still married at the time. And of course, liberals will say, well, that ain't no big deal, but they have no problem. But she's a homewrecker. But they have no problem getting on Trump about his divorces that he's been through, like 3 of them or something, and saying that he cheated on all of his wife. But it's a big deal for Trump, but it's not for Kamala Knee Pads Harris and how she got up to where she's at. That's okay. But when Trump do something like that, oh my God, they were throwing a fit about it. Now, it's just the biggest deals, Let's see, where we get it here. Would not be surprised if Biden was threatened. That's what I was heard. Oh, Daddy Soros has a blank check. Exactly right, Billy Bob. He was threatened with the 25th Amendment. That's why he got out. And I guarantee if Fox brought it out, and I know that's who it was. If you guys look it up and find it, let me know. And I think that's who it was I saw earlier. And I don't think it's in my other. I put 2. I have 3 different mails that I use. One, if I get an email from you guys, I put it into one, and then the 2 show ones, so I can set 2 shows up at once. Nope, it's not in 2. Nope, not that one. And I usually throw it right into there so I can bring it up, but it's not in there for some reason. And I always put them in there, and I never throw anything away because I use them for the shows every time. And mostly I'm getting repeats of Biden dropping out and everything like that. I got a lot about the shooting, the suspect and stuff. I got a lot for tomorrow's show. I just haven't put anything together yet. And it's not in here. I cannot believe I did not see it. And I could have seen it on Twitter or something like that. Who knows? But anyways, we're going to get on to the next one. Moving on with Harris, was given the responsibility of different jobs like the border. And I know you guys had to see this today. People are saying she was never the border czar. Okay. Is that right? Well, everything she touches has been a failure, no matter what it is. First, I'm going to let you watch this first one about the scandals and stuff about her failures. Take a look at this one first.
I'm not sure who she relates to at all. Again, she's a California elite. She's a California liberal. She was the original border czar. She once supported abolishing ICE, decriminalizing border crossings. Let's not forget, she was the deciding vote on the $1.9 trillion spending package that sent us and triggered inflation. I mean, I'm not sure what American voter will look at her record and think that she is the person for them, because not only does she have the disasters before she joined the Harris-Biden ticket, but it's been an abysmal 3.5 years. And by the way, she was the liar who did not, who hid the fact that Joe Biden was having serious health issues. So that trust is just not there.
Exactly right. She is Jill Biden's liar for him. She's covered up all this stuff that's been going on with Joe Biden, and she needs held responsible for it too. But now the next one is about the border. Let me see what I wrote on this one. Harris never at the real border. Okay. People have been saying all day today, all over Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, that she was never in charge of the border. So first I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to let you see when Biden made her the border czar, out of his own words. And these liberals will shut the hell up. Listen to this.
But I've asked her, the VP today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that help. We're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks, stemming the migration to our southern border. And, back when I was vice president, I got a similar assignment, but one of the things we did was we made sure that we got a bipartisan agreement with Democrats and Republicans to provide over $700 million to the countries in the Northern Triangle to determine the best way to keep people from coming is keep them from wanting to leave.
So there it is. That is March of 2021 when he made her the border czar. So if you idiot liberal friends keep saying that she was never, there it is. But we pay countries to keep their people away from our country? What the hell's up with that? I didn't know that until I watched this. So we're paying people like Venezuela and all these countries for them not to let people come to our country. So now are we still paying these people even though we've got over 15 million of their people here? That's a question we need to find out for sure, don't you think? So with that one being said, we get rid of that one. And this is, if you remember this one, Kamala Harris. That's not Pedo Joe either. Back that was 21. It might have been him, but with that mask, you never know. But you remember when and I think it was ABC, I can't remember, but it's one of those liberal TV networks, asking her about when she's going to the border. Take a look at this.
Okay. Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Why not visit the border? Why not see what Americans are seeing in this crisis?
Well, we are going to the border. We have to deal with what's happening at the border. There's no question about that. That's not a debatable point. But we have to understand that there's a reason people are arriving at our border.
Okay, which is it? We're going to the border. We've been to the border. This is what I'm talking about, how stupid she is. And then when they come back on, why not go to the border? Well, we're going to the border. She went to the border. She went to a totally different part of the border where there was nobody there, no illegals crossing at that place. She went to the safest part, and I can't remember what town it was in. You guys from Texas, you should know that answer. But she went to the safest part. She didn't go to where the actual stuff was going on. I would love to go down there. I want to go to, it was not El Paso. It was where they took over that and putting the razor wire up. What was the name of that place in Texas, guys? I know you know what I'm talking about. But this is what I'm talking about. Let me delete this one too so I don't replay that one. But these are the kind of things that I'll save the last ones. We get through all this for you. But you don't get all this crime and drugs and cartel members and guns and illegal criminals coming across the border from it being a success. So if she can't even handle the border, how the hell is she going to handle running an entire country? She's not, because she's not qualified to do it. She's dumb as a box of rocks. I'm still waiting for the new answer. What she's dumber than? She went after that was asked. Right. She went, but to the safest part ever. Eagle Pass. That's where she needed to go, but she did not go. She went to the safest part where nothing was going on, because when they recorded her there was nothing. There wasn't even Border Patrol agents' trucks there. So she's trying to say that that was before she went. So, and you're right. She didn't go there. Lee, what's going on, man? What's happening? So in this next article, Kamala Harris was asked a question whether Joe Biden was fit for office. And of course, she would not answer it. She wouldn't answer it because she's helped cover up Biden's mental acuities for 4 years now. So she would be the one to blame, along with the other corrupt Democrats that are keeping his mental disaster in the White House. So we got 90, let's see. In Harris's office right now, she has a turnover rate of 92%. People don't want to work for her. Isn't it funny what they claim to be success? This country, Warlock, is not a successful country right now. Not by far. Any of you liberals, if we got any liberals here, I don't know. If we got any liberals in here, tell me what is good about this country right now. We have some of our freedoms right now, and that's because we fight for our freedoms. They're trying to take away our freedom of speech right off the bat, plus our Second Amendment, which is not going to happen. But tell me what's good about this country. Tell me what Joe Biden and this Kamala Harris has done good for this country. I dare you. But there's a reason why people don't want to work for her. So take a look at this video of the turnover rate in Kamala Harris' office. That's of right now.
What do you make of these departures from her office? What are you hearing from your sources?
You know, actually, it shows that there's just a total meltdown in the vice president's office. Many people have seen her numbers in the 20s, knowing that she really has little or no chance of being a presidential candidate someday. And the fact, this is something that has followed her all throughout her career, Jen, whether in California, the United States Senate, her presidential run. Even one of her former staffers wrote a piece in the San Francisco Chronicle outlining her deficiencies. We were all very critical of Willie Brown, her mentor, when he said to her, if Biden offers you the post, don't take it. While the glory may last a few weeks, it won't last forever. I advise you to look at other ways in terms of how do you serve this country. Obviously, there's a combativeness between her staff, where they're not on the same, blame each other, and that no one is talking about. You would think Kamala Harris, being the first woman and the first American Black to occupy that position, that President Obama, Michelle Obama, the Congressional Black Caucus, the civil rights leaders would be speaking out in her defense, saying she's being marginalized, she's being tied down, and part of the reasons why she's not successful is because Biden and his White House handlers, but no one is saying anything. It's as if she's on a free fall. It's as if they want her to fall out of the way to have little or no chance of becoming president of the United States.
Now, if you guys never watched the National Desk, I like these guys. Jennifer Jeffcoat is on the lead desk woman. She's really good. These people, and I like that guy. He speaks the truth no matter what it is. Warlock says Camel Toe Harris has actually no accomplishments other than destructive ones. I don't even know what she does. She can't even go to the border to see what's going on there, to shut it down. And if anybody in their right mind would go down there, they would shut it down. And that goes right along with the lies that Joe Biden said tonight on his speech, that the crossings are down more than what Trump had them at. Trump had them at 17, I think it was as low as 17,000 or lower than that a month. We're getting still anywhere between 5 to 10,000 a day through there. And these stupid little liberals keep saying that the Republicans blocked what they said was the Republicans blocked their own border bill, and it wasn't the Republicans' bill, it was Joe Biden's bill. That all it did was put more border agents on, more judges on, so they could process these illegal criminals faster to get them onto our streets. It didn't stop the border. And this is another thing I'm sick and tired of these liberals trying to say. Every time it's turned around, they're lying. Well, they're spreading lies that people are telling them about. So that's all it is. But personally, this is no longer the same country I grew up in. You're right, Warlock. Definitely not. Jamal, what about the Ford Pinto? I haven't heard about a Ford Pinto in years. Those are the ones that got exploded when they got rear-ended because the fuel tank was in the back. That's crazy. Haven't heard that in a long time. Give credit where credit is due. Biden and Harris have displayed why the last administration was really great. Exactly right, Lee. That is definitely right. Billy, her ass is leaving tread marks, her butt hanging onto the ground. Oh, shit, yeah. Way lower than 17,000, right. And that's what pisses me off. These lies and these people, they're sheep, believe this stuff. It just dumbfounds me. Now, obviously, she's not easy to work for, because, yeah, she's a cackling hyena. So somebody needs to reach out and to the ex-staff members. If I knew who they were, I'd try to call them and find out why they left her. And hold on, I'm going to put Brendan in here real quick. All right, say hi to everybody, Brendan.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
You go ahead and get your thing set up there. And
yep, I'm getting it right now.
All right. And you guys remember this when I tell you the Fox News power rankings is Kamala Harris. If you guys remember what she said. So is Kamala Harris unburdened by what has been? Does that sound familiar to you guys? Remember when that phrase came from her? She has said this in so many places. Take a look at this video and it'll refresh your memories to the disastrous speeches this woman makes. So I want you to take a look at this.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it is very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
So during Women's History Month, we celebrate and we honor the women who made history throughout history. who saw what could be unburdened by what had been. We see the suffragists, the riveters, the marchers, the mothers and sisters and aunts and grandmothers and daughters, all the giants upon whose broad shoulders we stand. For generations, women have continued to make incredible progress in the classroom, in the workplace, in the halls of government. And we are all here, evidence of that progress.
Every election cycle, we talk about this is the most election of our lifetime. Lawrence, this one is. I have been fortunate and blessed to, during the course of being vice president, have many situations where it becomes clear to me that there are, people of every age and gender, by the way, who see something about being the first that lets them know they don't need to be limited by other people's limited understanding of who can do what. And I think that's important. And it relates to all people.
Hi, Pat. What's going on, Pat? Nice to see you. But what the hell is she talking about?
We finally found the one person that can make Joe Biden sound like Winston Churchill.
And no doubt. I'm going to say, I put this together a while ago. I did a video before we started streaming live. And that's what I took it from. But I couldn't understand what the hell she was saying.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, even if you didn't cut the entire speech up, you could watch an entire Kamala Harris speech and not know what the hell she's saying. I mean, you had that with Joe Biden, but not quite to the degree with Kamala Harris, because all it is, it's just word salad, like you played there.
Right.
She just repeats the same handful of words over and over again. The children of our community are the children of our community, and that makes them the children of our community. She does shit like that. I mean, it's.
And then she sounded like her prostitute self or something. Oh, it's so strong. Well, what the hell?
Charlie, if I ever see you make that face again, I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm going to get my sexy face on.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, damn it. Circular speak, gibberish, yes. Oh, you guys she's higher than 17 kites at the seashore. She still has her childhood brain. I don't even know if she has that. Fact is, she is even further left than brainless Joe. Yeah, exactly what Brendan just said. Word salad, verbal spaghetti. Exactly right, Tammy.
My favorite Kamala Harris moment, the most laughable one to me.
What's that?
Is when she's talking to these kids. They look like they were in middle school. The craters on the moon. You will see the craters on the moon with your own eyes. She's talking like she's talking to kindergartners, and like these kids are at least 12 at the very least. You know what I mean? And it's
their very own eyes.
Yeah, it was just so pathetic. It's like,
well, they were actually paid actors. They couldn't get any of it. They were supposed to get people to watch her, but nobody wanted to watch her, so they had to pay kids to come in there and watch them.
Well, that's what they're doing with her rallies. That's what they did with her rally. They're going to start packing, and now this is important. They're going to start packing Kamala Harris events to give the appearance of race, because you guys have seen, as I'm sure, they're saying for Donald Trump not to have any more outdoor rallies because of the assassination attempt. They are trying to make this look like a close race when it is not. You're going to start seeing suppression polls. They're showing a close race, in some case having her up. They want to discourage our side to think that the fix is already in, so we quit and we don't go out and vote. That is the worst thing we could do. So that's why I think it's important to bring that up.
Oh, most definitely.
Regardless of what you see, whether it's polls, whether it's events of hers that are packed, a lot of those people are paid to be there, and those polls are suppression polls. Do not pay attention to them. Go out and vote. We go vote.
We've said this on every one of the shows that we just use them as an idea, and they're just worse. Now, you can't even use them in this idea because the lame news media is making polls up.
No, and a theory that I have on all these polls, you're seeing that Trump's lead, what they're saying with polls, has shrunk. I think these have been the numbers the entire time. They because this was all planned. We know this is all planned for them to remove Biden and put Harris in. They're trying to make it look like that their side is gaining momentum by putting Kamala Harris in when really they're not. This has been their intention the entire time, and it's to make every one of you give up. But we're not giving up. We're not giving up. We're more motivated than ever.
Oh, exactly right. I want to go down through some of these here real quick. Pat says, and this was a good one too. Today is yesterday, and today is tomorrow, but yesterday was yesterday, and tomorrow was tomorrow. And she did one like that. Oh my God! And I tried to find it. Somebody else posted that today somewhere, and I couldn't find it. But that was hilarious, Pat. Kamala, Mala, Boa, Babala, Banana, Fan. Jamal put that. Oh yeah. Okay. These moons, all right. Yeah, Warlock, you got that one. We got another new one. Warlock is in the house tonight, so we got some new people in here. We had one from Kentucky here earlier, and it was great, Susan. Tammy says, have you seen the one where she visited Southern State and can't remember where, but she tried to talk Southern? I do remember that, and I cannot remember where she was at either, but she tried to do a Southern accent and totally screwed that pooch too.
Well, Hillary Clinton did that same thing. It's like, lady, you're from New York. You don't talk Southern. But, it's not just Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris have done this. You ever notice how differently Barack Obama talked when he was talking to a group of white people than black people?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he would speak jive when he was talking to black people. I mean, he would talk about shooting the rock and all this stuff. And when he's talking in front of white people, he's talking real proper English and stuff. That's just what these people do. They're all frauds.
Well, somebody made a parody up of Obama, and like he's walking down through the chambers and shaking everybody's hand. And I don't know if you saw this, but he'd go down through the thing and he was shaking all the black people's hands. He was doing
that's a Key and Peele skit from.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, they had a show on Comedy Central. They made.
Oh yeah.
That show was hilarious, but
he was doing the old hug with them, and then a white man come up and he would go.
Yeah, and that's what they were making fun of, how different he was speaking in front of black people than white people. That was the whole joke of that segment.
What in tarnation y'all doing? Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. But let me see if I'm at the right one. Yes, I am at the right one here.
Pat says Hillary was from Southern New York.
Southern, yeah, so she had that Southern accent. Yeah. That's good, Pat. Oh, now this one is just so many. We're going to get into this here with this woman repeats stuff and says stuff, and she thinks she sounds good. But you know what the problem is with all this, that word salad she does? The people clap for her. So how stupid are they if they think she's saying something smart? They got to be pretty damn dumb, right?
Once again, they're being paid to be there, because one thing people need to remember, this was in Milwaukee, I believe, yesterday, where she had this rally. Milwaukee is not that far from Chicago, so they probably bus people in from Chicago. I mean, I'm sure any of you that are on Twitter have seen today that they're busing the Palestinian anarchists to Washington, D.C. to desecrate our monuments and have an insurrection in the Capitol. So they're busing people possibly from Chicago to Milwaukee. A lot of these people are being paid to be there. They're paid activists, and you have union workers, and we all know who the union's back. They're paying union workers. They have their marching orders to go to these events. So she really doesn't have any supporters. And one thing, and I'll go through this real quick, Charlie, because I know you want to move on.
Go ahead.
But one thing that people need to realize, especially when it comes to the polling, as I mentioned earlier, just think about this logically. Does anybody really think that this changed anything? Do you believe that the people that are supporting Harris were not going to vote for Biden already? Do you really think that anybody left Donald Trump to go vote for Kamala Harris? That's not happening. The same people that are supporting Kamala Harris today are the same people that were going to vote for Joe Biden and vote against Donald Trump this election. Nothing has changed. Do not fall for the Kamala Harris is closing the lead on Trump. That it's a bunch of bullshit. Don't buy it.
Exactly. I was answering Tammy too. Pat said she used to talk like that because she's from Kentucky too. She had a Southern accent.
That makes sense because Kentucky is a Southern state. So
yeah, exactly right. That's crazy. But I'm just going to show you this video about them drawing the impeachment. Then we'll talk about it after that, because this guy did it. I think this was yesterday. Take a look at this.
We begin with new developments in the race for the White House. CNN delegates estimate Kamala Harris has enough support to win the Democratic Party's nomination for president. However, just today, 2 articles of impeachment have introduced against Harris. WBKO's Sarah Phipps joins us in studio with the details. Sarah, who introduced these articles of impeachment and why?
Well, thank you, Casey. Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles introduced 2 articles of impeachment against Harris for, quote, high crimes and misdemeanors. The 2 articles include willful refusal to uphold immigration laws and a second one on breach of public trust. Per the resolution, Ogles says Harrison, quote, has willfully and systemically refused to uphold federal immigration laws. Ogles also introduced articles of impeachment against Harris in 2023 during the first session of the 118th Congress. Ogles has been quoted by our Nashville sister station, WSMV, saying, quote, Kamala Harris has disgraced the office of vice president and willfully disregarded her oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. She's not only an embarrassment to the country, but has also intentionally ignored her responsibility to enforce the laws of the United States. Ogles then went on to say Kamala Harris has betrayed the trust of the public by failing to exercise her sworn duty to employ the provisions of the 25th Amendment to remove President Biden from office when it became apparent that he was mentally and physically incapable of continuing to serve. Now, it is unclear at this point when or if this will come to the House floor, but we'll be following this story closely and we'll update you as details become available. Okay.
But we all know what's going to happen. If it even comes close to passing the House, it's dead in the Senate. So no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a joke and it's wasting money. But they're right, though. I mean, they have every right to impeach her, but it's not going to matter because they won't do anything about it. Same old shit, blue no matter who. Yep. I moved here in Pennsylvania from Christian County outside of Hopkinsville. Well, that was Lee. I ain't pay shit anything the Democrats are doing. When the ventriloquist uses a different dummy, the show is still run by the same person. Yeah, exactly right. And you got Obama back there pulling the strings on it. So,
yep, it's the same exact thing. That's why I say they're not picking up any new voters just because they push Biden out and are putting Harris in. It's the same group of people. It's the same voters. Nothing has changed. Just the name on the ballot. Nothing has changed.
No, nothing has changed. And this is all about, and Harris being in there is just about getting her money because the Republicans are suing, saying that Kamala's not supposed to be using that money right now. So,
yeah, that's going to be a big shitstorm here soon.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that when that comes around. But I got the new attack ad that the Republicans put out for Trump and against Harris. So I'm going to show you the new attack ad. So take a look at this ad.
Warning. The following may upset liberals who don't want voters to know the truth about Kamala Harris.
If you ever wondered how Joe Biden could get the border so screwed up, remember, he had help. Here's Biden appointing Kamala Harris to be his border czar to deal with illegal immigration. And here are a record number of illegal immigrants, 10 million and counting, flooding over the border after Harris was put in charge of stopping illegal immigration. To be fair, Harris got off to a rough start by ignoring the border.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Harris was liberal on illegal immigration before she ever reached the White House. As a prosecutor in San Francisco, Harris allowed illegal immigrant drug dealers to enter job training and have their criminal records wiped clean. One of the illegal immigrants Harris released went on to steal an SUV and ran down a young woman, seriously injuring her. And, of course, Harris backs sanctuary city laws that harbor illegal immigrants, even criminals. She even backs taxpayer-funded health care for illegals, record illegal immigration, special treatment for illegals, taxpayer-paid benefits. And Harris still doesn't get it.
I've been working on this issue for a very long time.
That's the truth about Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal on illegal immigration.
This is what these idiots want to put into the White House?
Apparently some of them do. I mean, it's anybody but Trump. That's how these people think. I mean, you look at, by the way, the media, I don't know if you've seen this, Charlie, the media is now trying to say that Kamala Harris was never the border czar. I know you find that shocking that the media blatantly lie to us, but
I showed a video just before you came on of Biden appointing her to the border.
Yeah, the media thinks we're all too stupid to remember that, apparently. But anyway, she literally had one job as vice president, and she willingly ignored it. I mean, and the thing that nobody ever brings up, that interview with Lester Holt, she says, we've been to the border. And then Lester says, you haven't been to the border. And then she says, well, I've never been to Europe either. She blatantly lied on live TV. I mean, about being to the border. I mean, how did nobody call her out on that? That was her one job as vice president, and she willingly ignored it. I don't even want to say she failed because she didn't even make an attempt to secure the border. She willingly ignored it. They wanted this invasion to happen.
Oh, most definitely, because
that's all Donald Trump has to attack her on is the border.
Oh yeah, I mean she's failed totally, and we all see it. So theater like Mayorkas it'll be ignored. It always is. Everything the Democrats do has been ignored. And I didn't get to say hi to Vix. Vix in the house. Hi, Vixen. Don't impeach her. Impeachment always brings her popularity up. Let her be her. She'll make herself obviously idiotic. Oh my God, she's about as idiotic as it could be. Always the same person.
I cannot wait for the first debate.
Oh, no kidding, because they asked Trump about that yesterday, I think it was, or today, and he said, "Oh yeah, hell yes, he has no problem debating her." Hunter spent Pedo Joe's money on the big bag. Oh yeah, I guarantee that they're going to give them. They went out. They're going out with money. Somebody offered them money. It was probably Soros, and giving them money because they can't afford all the shit that they have without him taking bribes and stuff from these other countries. And I guarantee that the money has already stopped because he's been caught. So they can't afford it. And now Jill Biden has to take care of this demented old fool by herself. She's not going to have staff to take care of her like she does right now.
I wonder how much the value of Hunter Biden's paintings have went down already.
Oh, yeah. They're probably asking for refunds. Doesn't even remotely look black. Maybe bad spray tan at best. Oh, most definitely. Like I said, she just picks whatever color she is.
Yeah, she was
Alan's in the house.
16. Now apparently she's black.
Yeah. Well, she'll be whatever she wants to be.
She's race fluid.
Oh yeah, I called her. Somebody was getting on me and on Facebook, and I said she's a Heinz 57, and then the girl called me a racist, and I said, it's a millennial. Let me get you right. It was a millennial, and I said, you probably don't even know what Heinz 57 means. She goes, yeah, it means you're a mutt. What? No, a mutt is a dog. Heinz 57 means you are a variety of nationalities. So typical fucking millennial. Oh my! And I called her that, and somehow Facebook took off you couldn't chat, you couldn't comment on my article. It was for this show too. So I don't know what happened. I didn't call her any names except for a millennial. Well, I guess. Oh well. She was told not to laugh so much during her campaign. Yeah, that ain't going to hold her, Pat. She's still going to do it. She says she's just dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, she failed. She failed the first bar exam, which they said Big Mike did too. Well, so she's not that smart, but this girl wants to call her highly educated. Oh, yeah. She would call her highly educated. But, okay, this highly educated person wants to try to explain to people about Ukraine. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard this before, but listen to this.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
Now, did you all know that? Did you all know that Ukraine is a smaller country than Russia? Was the bigger country?
Hold on. I was making sure I was writing all that down. Hold on.
Yeah. You have to understand that. Did you guys get that stuff?
Oh my God.
Anything good, Vixen?
But you know something, Charlie, in all fairness, most of her voters probably didn't know that. So
most Democrat voters, most of them liberals that didn't know that.
No,
they
have no idea.
But this is the kind of person that they want in there. Now, I'm going to get one. I think it's this Talby Gafford. I think that's her name. When she was debating her, and she says, "Oh yeah," she says it exactly right. And watch this. I mean, this speaks for itself. Watch this.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done.
And I inhaled. I did inhale. It was a long time ago, but yes.
So if it was legalized all throughout the country and medicinal, would you do it?
Listen, I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it.
Did you notice that she did not deny it?
Yep.
She did not deny anything that she said. Was that Tulsi Gabbard, right?
Yep, that was Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
That was when she was still a Democrat.
Oh, okay. She did not deny it. So what's that tell you? But people don't see that. They think that she just made that up about Kamala. No, if it was a lie, she would have said, "You're lying. I don't do that." But she's not lying. I mean, the proof is right there. She said it right on the radio. She can put away all these people for marijuana, but she can smoke it herself, and that's okay.
And the majority of people she put away were Black people. I mean, she's a racist. She hates Black people. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, and it's she fits right in with Joe Biden. I mean, remember, Joe Biden was the one that said he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle when it came to school integration. Right, and referred to Black people as super predators. I mean, so it it kind of just because your skin's brown doesn't mean that you can't hate Black people. I mean, look at Barack Obama. Do you ever see Barack Obama around any Black people other than when he's giving a speech?
Oh, he's a racist son of a bitch.
Yeah, most Democrats are. They are the party of the KKK. Remember,
they are. And I like Alan says a bowling ball has a higher IQ. Thank you, Alan. I'm going to use that instead of the box of rocks. She's
That's
as
still an
dumber.
insult-
She's
that's
dumber
still an
than a
insult to
bowling
the
ball.
That's still an insult to the bowling ball.
It is, but we'll apologize to the bowling ball. But she needs heavily medication to keep her from cackling. Exactly, Warlock. And Jeff got a good point here. Education has nothing to do with intelligence.
No,
He
it
is
does not.
exactly right, because you could be the smartest person in the world and still be dumb as hell.
I've met some people that are
No common sense.
brilliantly book smart,
My
but have
son.
no common sense
My son.
whatsoever.
That's my son, and he's a typical millennial.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring up that subject, but I've met people like that too. They're incredibly book smart, but they do not know how the world works in any way. They have no common sense.
And I got to apologize to everybody out there. I know you guys feel a little bit dumber. Warlock says, my brain hurts listening to stupid people. And Vixen says, fuck me running. Oh, yeah. I know you guys are going to love those videos. And liberals can run their mouths on Facebook, no problem. Oh, they love running their mouth. Everybody loves running their mouth. And I've got a liberal that I'm going to show you the last thing we do before we go. You're going to kick out of this one. A ham sandwich. Oh, a ham sandwich sounds good right now. This is my last day of my 3-day diet, so I'm hungry as hell. Jeff, never let schooling get in the way of your education. Exactly right. They don't even teach school anymore. Hell, you see in Oregon where they took away reading, writing, and arithmetic because they say it's racist against black people.
Yeah, and the reason they do this is because they want a dumb society. It's, you're not going to have people rise up and take power from you in a dumb society. That's why they say things like math is racist and why they try to completely twist history. They don't want people knowing their history. I think history is the most important subject out there, because if you don't know your history, you don't know, those that don't know their history are condemned to repeat it. I mean, you look at what we're seeing now. We're following the same path right now as every other country, really, that has fallen to communism. We're on that same path.
Yep.
And they don't want people to know that. That's why they take all this shit out of schools. They want a dumb society.
Yeah, and they think, but you cut down black people like they're nothing, and they're no different than us. They just turn out the sun a little longer. So that just gets on my nerves every time I see that or hear something like that.
Yeah,
you tell people that black people don't know what a computer is because they're black.
Yeah, that's
what the hell?
That's a Democrat Party. You're right. They're no different than us. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Exactly.
The Democrat Party truly thinks that black people are stupid and they're subhuman. That's what they believe, and that's why. I mean, they always keep them down. Notice that the Democrat Party is the modern day plantation. They make them believe that they are not smart enough and they are not capable of making their own way in this country without the white man's help. And it is the evil white man is the reason that they are down. That is the message of the Democrat Party every single election. I mean, if I was black, I would find that very insulting that you're telling me that I'm not smart enough just because of the color of my skin
exactly
to make it on my own. I mean, that's just insulting. Why any black person votes Democrat? Well, why anybody votes Democrat, but especially black people.
Right.
I don't understand it. I don't.
Hi, Dennis. Glad to see you made it. And Vic said she despises Tulsi.
I don't know how I feel about her. I mean, I like the stuff she says, but do I trust her? I don't know. It's one of those things. She says all the right things right now, but when people were saying for Trump to pick her as a running mate, I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would do that much.
Yeah, exactly. The left will brag about hiring someone because of their color or their skin, then call you a racist because you say that they got hired because of the color of their skin. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, Daniel. Oh, we're definitely getting that right now.
If DEI is such a great thing, why is it an insult to say Kamala Harris is a DEI hire if it's such a great thing?
Exactly. That's what we're hearing right now. We're hearing that because we're saying it. And what is that dumb ass's name? the old Speaker of the House. Oops.
Kevin McCarthy?
Kevin McCarthy went on CBS. I think it was CBS. It was a liberal news station today and said we were all idiots because we call Kamala Harris a DEI hire. And that's exactly what she was hired for.
Yeah, Joe Biden said he was going to pick a black woman as his running mate.
Right.
All she did was check boxes. She was not. I mean, you
That's
just listen to
true.
her speak. You just listen to her speak. I mean, she's an idiot. But now they pick her because any attack that Trump throws at her, they're going to pull the race card. They're going to pull the woman card.
Well, they're doing it against us too, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, who really gives a shit? I mean, the term racist and white supremacist and misogynist, they don't mean anything anymore. That is just the buzzwords that they throw at us, or throw at anybody they don't agree with. The names have lost their meaning.
Oh, most definitely.
Racist, Charlie, if I had a nickel for every time I've been called a racist in the last 5 years, I would not be going to work tomorrow.
No shit. That's for sure. Warlock says Democrat Party, who actually did not want to abolish slavery, created Jim Crow, created the Klan, voted against civil rights. Exactly right. And this is what we're putting up with. And that's why it makes me crazy that the black people still vote for him.
I don't understand it either.
That never made sense to me.
But they are coming around. They are coming around finally.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yep,
and Lee said that American Rebellion put on a hell of a show.
I missed it. I was away.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it either.
On here, I was away.
I'm still going down through here to see if we missed anything. Well, I don't want to read that part. The woman in the race card. They're all pulling a race card now. And
are you really surprised? We knew that. I mean,
oh no,
we're gonna pull the race card and the woman card. I mean, come on.
We were talking about that earlier because her dad was Jamaican and her mom was Indian. So she chose what brand she's going to be that day. So
yeah, who knows? I'm waiting for her to bring out Pocahontas.
Well, we already brought Pocahontas up too. Yes, we did. We brought that up earlier. It was so great. Now, okay, I got another word salad for you. Listen to this.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature.
I might have showed that one already. I can't remember what the rest of it was, but I'm not going to show.
Remember, they all sound the same at this point.
I know. So I'm not even going to show that one again because we've got so many of them that it's unreal that how much she's done. But I do have to do this now that I saw Dennis.
What would I do if things really went south, either for a short period or a longer period? If there was an emergency, how would I respond? Well, of course, you need food and water. You need security, some way to protect yourself and your loved ones. You probably have taken care of all of that. But one problem you may not have addressed is what do you do about medicine? If there's a medical problem when there's not readily available medical care, what do you do for your family? And that's a tough question to answer. You could have bacterial illnesses, respiratory infections, skin infections, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Things that could come up and happen when you can't just drive over to the doctor. This is preparation, and for its cost, probably well worth it to get emergency stock of common medicines for yourself and your family. It's worth doing now.
Now, I love that. Everybody's favorite. Whoops, let me hit the right one here. I hit the wrong one.
I'm going to say, kick me out, damn it.
Yeah, I hit the wrong one. It doesn't shut off by itself. So it looks like we're losing William. He said his phone's dying. He's got to go back to work. But I'm going to leave this on the site charging at home so you get another view. Kicking ass, Brendan. Y'all Google the Democrats from Texas who made the argument that the assassination attempt was racist against Trump, like he was a victim of racism by the police. Wait, we're going to have to look that one up. But did you guys know, and you probably heard it, that the FBI had released this, saying that this wasn't just about Trump. It was about everyone. This guy had plans to shoot the audience and everything. He just didn't make it to that point. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but I did hear that today or yesterday. I can't remember.
Well, he did have explosives in his car, so it's clear he had other plans. I mean,
he had a detonator in his pocket too.
Right. Yeah. So it's clear he had, more plans than just killing Trump.
Right. But he just didn't make it to that point. So, but there's so much still coming out, and we'll put out stuff that we've never heard before when I do get it. So, yeah, Alan said that because toddlers are smarter than her. There ain't no doubt about that. But that is our Don't Get Dead disaster factor tip of the day. Wanted to put that out. That's for Dennis out there. I knew he was going to be late today, so delete this one. Now I want to show you this one. Now I know you guys know who this is, and this is the last piece that I had for the day. This piece of shit is Keith Olbermann. Likes to run his mouth, and he likes to run it to Dan Bongino, and he runs his mouth all the time, but of course he's behind a computer. He would never say it to Dan's face.
No.
So everybody's computer badasses nowadays, and it's not like you're going to get throat punched or something like that because you're behind a computer. So I'm going to let you watch this video of him saying himself that Trump was not shot. Take a listen to this. He says some other stuff too, but take a listen.
On the Friday edition of the Countdown Podcast, nothing I could say could make me more sad nor wish I did not have to say it than this. It is time for President Biden to withdraw from the 2024 presidential election. The entirety of the FOB project behind the scenes, Friends of Biden, trying to convince him quietly to stand aside that the polls are insurmountably bad, is over. I fear it will all go public by the beginning of next week. It's time for the president to step aside of his own accord. We can then, I hope, spend 20 years embracing him and congratulating him on the greatest sacrifice made by any leader in this nation's recent history, and also to congratulate ourselves and enjoy 20 consecutive years of Trump being turned down by the parole board. But that is for later. For now is winning the elections. The polling indicates that Biden can't do this, that the swing states are insurmountable. He's behind an average of 5.5 points in them. On the other hand, and it is somewhat Pollyanna and somewhat self-fulfilling, but the polling also suggests from the same poll that a replacement younger Democrat could lead in those states by as much as 7 points on average, a swing of 13 points if Biden leaves the ticket in favor of another candidate. He should do it. Also on the podcast, there is still more evidence, even in the wake of the end of the Republican convention, Fascist Fest 24 in Milwaukee, there is more evidence that Trump was not hit by a bullet, but rather by plastic or metal debris, and that he's been lying about it. Shocking, I know. All that and more on the Friday Countdown Podcast, now live wherever you podcast.
Now you believe it, piece of shit. The teleprompters were not touched. There was no way, unless somebody threw something from the audience, anything's going to hit him in the ear, the way his head was tilted.
No, and one thing that many people don't know, the teleprompters that the president uses are bulletproof to avoid, something like that happening.
Right.
But even if what he is saying is true, let's say that he was hit from glass from the teleprompter, he was still shot at. What the hell does it matter whether the bullet hit him or it was a piece of glass, whatever the hell it was? What does it matter? What is their argument? Somebody still tried to kill him. He was shot at. What the hell does it matter?
Exactly. Now, MAGA brought up something about the medicines and stuff. My sister has become an herbologist or whatever you call it, and she is making all natural, and Vix probably knows about this stuff, all natural remedies and from just local plants and stuff that she's come up with. And she come up with antibiotics. She's got things for bronchitis. And she gave me some healing salve the other day, yesterday, actually. And you probably can't see it on here, but right here, I cut myself yesterday. I put that sucker on there last night, and it's already healed and it's all natural stuff. I can't remember what she told me was in it, but Vixen, she probably knows about that stuff with all that natural. She is a homesteader, and she probably knows about all that, putting the weeds and stuff. And I got a couple weeds up on my camper, my fifth wheel where I park it, because I haven't mowed in a month because it's been so dry. And these, I can't remember, chicory root. How do you say that? It's chicory root or something like that. It's supposed to have medicinal purposes for it. But my sister does all that stuff. And man, I tell you what, that shit works, man. It healed this thing overnight. And I cut that thing open on a nail or something. I can't remember. But hell, it's not even have a scab. It's just covered right over. It's great. Yeah, homeopathic recipes. Very good. Don't get dead segment. I had to do it for you, Dennis. I knew you were going to be late, so I saved it until you got here. So we were hearing a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff about Kamala and all this money she's raising and all this bullshit crap, that she should not be campaigning yet because she is not the nominee. And chicory root, Vixen, thank you. That is what, and Pat said the same thing. I have that. I didn't even know what the hell it was. I took a picture of it, sent it to my sister. She told me what it was. It has some medicinal purposes and some other stuff that you could do with it. But that's pretty neat stuff. I don't need to add more to my plate. I'll let my sister do it, and I'll go up there and get stuff from her. I like the all-natural stuff. It works great. But this is the kind of stuff that we want to do on the Don't Get Dead Disaster Factor tips of the day and stuff. And we still got to work on that, but we've got to get time. I have enough on my plate now with doing that morning show and stuff. I'm unlike Brendan. He's only got 4 shows he's doing at once. So you ain't got nothing. Plus school, plus he's got to work. So he ain't doing shit.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Cajun put chicory in coffee. No kidding. I mean, there's so much out there that I didn't even realize it. And when I went up to see my sister the other day, that she was showing me all this stuff, and she had one of her trees up there, and that's what's one of the salves she gave me for hand cream and stuff. And mimosa tree. She made some salve on it, and it's actually healing powder too, and some neat stuff that you could actually do. With all the vinyl stuff and I'm trying to do and stuff, and these shows and stuff, I don't have time for all that. So my sister's doing a great job, so I like it. So I'll steal stuff from her. You got anything did you capture anything today?
Not
Since
much.
You were running behind?
Yeah, not much of anything. Just, same old shit. Basically, the only thing I wanted to bring up was the what I mentioned earlier, which was the the whole suppression poll factor, and them basically paying people to be at her events. Just don't want anybody to get discouraged, because I really believe you're going to start seeing polls where Harris is pulling ahead. But remember, and everybody needs to remember this. 2016 on election night, what was Hillary Clinton's chances of winning? If I remember correctly, I might get fact checked on this, but I'm at least in the ballpark. I know. I believe her chance of winning, now this is election night, not leading up to the election, election night, was 92%, if I am remembering correctly. Donald Trump only had about an 8% chance. I mean, I don't know if those are the exact numbers, but it wasn't even close. Hillary was supposed to win in historic numbers, and this is what all the polling was showing leading up to the election as well. There was going to be a landslide victory for Hillary Clinton. And what happened that night? Donald Trump won, because everybody went out and voted anyway. Right. We can do this. You don't need to pay attention to the polling. Completely block it out, all of them. Completely block, even the ones where Trump's ahead. Completely block it all out. Just go out and vote, and get others to go vote. Get at least 10 people to go out and vote, and encourage each one of those people to get their own 10 people. Yes. And we're going to win. The only way we lose is if we quit. That's what everybody has to remember.
Yeah, we definitely ain't doing that. But Tammy wants to know, when do you sleep, Brendan?
When do I sleep?
They very seldom.
Yeah, it feels like it sometimes.
The plastic would hit his left ear if he got hit with the right ear. I guess the plastic made a U-turn. Exactly, Jamal. So how does the plastic from the thing come, unless they shot behind him and hit the other teleprompter and went in this way? And there's no way. That guy's an asshole, and I can't stand him anyways. And I see him on Dan Bongino's site on X. He's running his mouth constantly on there. But Dan takes care of himself. He puts it to him really well.
He's a Twitter tough guy.
Yeah, he is, and it pisses me off, and that I hate that. Best cheap antiviral is L-Lysine. Buy a crap load of it. It's very inexpensive and get rid of many viruses. More information to come. I'm interested in that, Dennis, too. So we got to get that going. Lee said I had to go get more ivermectin and fenbendazole today. You got to stock up on that too. And Rick, hi Rick. I didn't see you in there until now. I wasn't going to subject myself to a pathological liar in chief, and that's what he did, Rick. He lied the whole time, and then I went through that list earlier, Brendan. In 12 minutes, the man told like 10 lies. I think it was. What is it?
Are you talking about tonight for his
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Yeah, he told 11 lies in 12 minutes.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah. So, and he's using the excuse that he's passing the torch to the younger generation with an almost 60-year-old thing from California.
Yeah, isn't it amazing now all of a sudden the Democrats are saying Trump is too old to run?
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying now. Trump's the old guy.
Yeah, before what's the new buzzword? Ageist or ageism or something like. I think it's ageist is the liberal buzzword for discriminating against old people. That's what they always said. That,
oh yeah.
That's when we bring up, and we never really brought up Biden's age. We always brought up his mental capacity. I mean, the guy. It's clear to see he was senile.
Well, you don't have to be 80 years old and have the problems that he's having.
Right. Like I'll acknowledge that Trump's not a young guy. I have no problem acknowledging that. I mean, it's it's something that's obvious, but mentally he's still sharp. He's there. He could do the job. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
not about age. It's not about age with Biden. No. It's about his problems. And you had to foresee this coming because he had aneurysms. He had brain aneurysms. So with something like that kind of injury or accidents or whatever you want to call it, medical condition, you're going to bound determined to have something when you get older.
Yeah.
And they should have seen this coming from the get-go. But Vic said that she has turmeric, ginger, and she has mimosa tree too. Do you make that kind of stuff, Vic? In an emergency, I don't care if it's an antibiotic for a horse or infection or is exactly right. You take whatever you could find. If you're sick in an emergency situation, it'll work. What else we got going on here before we close out the show? Remember that the polls had Hillary in a landslide. Right. But we don't talk about landslide. We do not talk about red waves. Ever.
Nope.
Because we are just worried about voting and getting everybody, like Brendan said, out to vote. Get your 10, 10, 10.
Yep. That's why I said, remember, that's why I brought up 2016 and Hillary. Nobody gave Trump a chance. And honestly, I didn't even believe he had a chance. I was 17, still too young to vote, but I paid attention to the whole race. I didn't think he would win. I was shocked the next morning.
Oh, but yeah, no shit.
To show that polling does not win elections. So they could have Kamala pull away in the polls. They could pack her events. It means nothing. They want you to quit. That is their goal now. They want us to sit here and say, well, the fix is in. There's no point in going out and voting. That is their intention. If we do that, we are playing right into their hands. Nothing has changed this entire time. We will win if we do our job and go out and vote.
Most definitely. And that's where we're going to keep repeating that on every show.
Absolutely. So important.
And we're not going to let up. We're not going to quit as long as you guys don't quit, because you guys help us out a lot by getting on here and talking, engaging in the conversation. We get this out to more people. And I know my shows have been pushing out about 500 to 600 views. I'm happy with that. I don't need the 100,000s. As long as we reach 5 people, 10 people, I'm happy with reaching as many people as possible. Doing a little part that I can do, that we do. That's why we do these videos. Brendan now with his shows that he's doing with those guys. And the other night, that guy, your stepfather, he was too dark. I couldn't even see him.
Yeah, that's his persona. What he wants it to be dark. I'm like, all right, that's your thing.
Oh, okay. Because he was light. He was light at first.
I told him the one day. I said, you almost, because he had a black shirt on. I said, you look like a floating head. He's like, that's what I'm going for. I'm
well,
like,
all I could see it was his eyes and his mouth moving. That's all I could see whenever on that thing. I was like, what the hell happened to his lighting?
Yeah, that's what you want. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want your persona to be, go for it.
Oh God, somebody put that little bitch. What the hell's his name? Vixen. Did you go down through the comments? Sisson. That little pansy. That little pansy ass bitch. I bet he's crying now because he's been talking Biden up all these years. The little son of a bitch. But I'm going to let you guys go.
He's all on Team Kamala now, but he's being paid by the Democrat Party too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a retard. He really is.
No doubt. So ivermectin was an antiparasitic that has been repurposed for an antiviral, and other dewormers are being considered for the same purpose. That's cutting edge information, guys. You heard that straight from Dennis, everyone. But okay, guys, we're going to cut out of here a little bit early since we started a little bit early today. So that's all the time we have for tonight. But thank you for tuning in and joining us in chat, because you guys are awesome. You don't know how much you make this show special. Hopefully you guys will tune in tomorrow night. I don't know. Are you going to be able to make it tomorrow, or you got something going on?
I should be able to, but I can't say 100%. I would say most likely yes, though.
Just let me know for sure so I send you that link so I don't forget. Because I will forget. But please check out our videos, Rumble, Wimpkin, Twitter, all of them. Mine is Country Conservative, and I'm going to let Brendan share his.
Yeah, you can follow us on Rumble, X, True Social, Getter, Wimpkin, at Free Soul Media. And also we are now on Instagram and TikTok trying to reach more of an audience to come to our Rumble channel. But across all those platforms at Free Soil Media.
Now, how are you doing it with TikTok? You doing it by phone?
Well, no, I'm taking our videos and
and posting them.
Well, I'm finding this platform. I found this platform that turns them into like little reels. They make a bunch of little reels from the video. So I'm just posting reels. So people are just scrolling through reels. They come across it and check it out and might translate to some followers on Rumble. Hopefully,
yeah. Hopefully, until we get them to come to Wimpkin too. Make sure you get them to come to Wimpkin.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep,
make sure
it all out there.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to share our videos. Even these live ones, help us out. Give us a thumbs up and everything, like wherever you're tuning in from. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave you with this. As we lower the curtain on tonight's episode, I invite you to carry the torch of conservatism with unwavering resolve. Remember that our ideas are not a mere echoes. They are the heartbeat of a nation. In this quiet moments after the podcast ends, let us reflect on our duty. We are not passive observers. We are torchbearers. We pledge to defend liberty, uphold tradition, and champion the individual against the encroaching tide of collectivism. So, my fellow patriots, go forth, engage in civil discourse, challenge the status quo, and honor the legacy of those who came before us. Let our voices echo through the digital corridors, reminding all who listen that conservatism is not a relic, it's a beacon. Thank you for joining us tonight. And until tomorrow night, stay informed, stay vigilant, and may the flame of liberty burn brightly in your hearts. This has been Charlie, the Country Conservative, signing off saying good night, everyone, and see you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.